part 2 of basic typography, and let's go back to our Illustrator file, and hopefully you have already placed both of your source pages on the source layer and locked it. And now we're going to discuss kerning and tracking. So the things that you should know about now is sans serif. This is the one without the little things hanging off the end of the letters, and this one is a serif. So sans serif means no these little dilly whoppers. So sans serif and serif, apex vertex, loop bold, ascender, descender, baseline shift, type on a path, and type on a circle. I did neglect to show you how to do the loop and the bold, but that should be self-evident. You should be able to do that now by all the other instructions. So let's move on to kerning. Now, kerning is the space between the letters. Okay? Tracking is the space between the spacing of a whole word or a line of text. I'll show you here in Illustrator the two different buttons. So the one thing with tracking, when you're trying to track something, you have to put the cursor between the letters to adjust that space. Okay? The tracking, you select the whole word or the line of text to adjust the tracking. I want you to go ahead and type all this stuff out and try to make it look like the way this is, and we'll just copy and paste some of the stuff that you've already done and just change the words to vast. This is a good way so you can see kerning. This one right here is unkerned. This one is kerned, and you can see how much space is between these by these little rectangles. So I want you to use the little rectangles and try to do some of that stuff here. So let's get started on the kerning part. I'll show you some other stuff about tracking. There's some rules that you can do, and when we get to tracking, we'll do some of that. So let's go ahead and turn on your typography layer, and let's just copy this sans serif that you've done already. Just go ahead and just copy everything you have here. Just hold the Option key or the Alt key and drag it over here. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it from Smith. We'll go ahead and change it to Vass, and we're going to change it to all caps. So take this here, and what we'll do is we'll make all of it bold. And right here I'm selecting the whole line. If I double click, it selects the word. If I triple click, it selects both of these. And we'll go ahead and make it bold. That should look a little bit better. And then we want to make the vast all caps. So we go to the type palette here. If you've docked your type palette here, that's great. If not, you'll have to go to Window, Type, open up your character palette, and you can dock it right here. As soon as it lights up blue, you can park it right on the end of your palettes. So let's click on this little flyout here, and we can change it to all caps. So on the character palette, you click on this, it's called a flyout. You can change it to all caps. And the reason you do that is because you can change your mind. I'm going to take the zoom tool, and I'm going to zoom in closer to this here. I'm going to adjust the cap height. And this font here has a tall X height. And we can see right here that it put a big space right between the V and the A, and that actually needs to be kerned. It's too far apart, and the larger you make this word, the more exaggerated that space gets in. So a lot of times with if you're just typing in a bunch of words, little small pages in a book or a magazine, you're not going to notice something like this. But as soon as you make it big and you turn it into a headline or a logo or something like that, you're going to notice problems with kerning. So as a graphic designer, you'll start noticing that these things bother you, and you fix them. So for kerning, you go in here and you can use this tool right here to adjust it. And for this one, we're not going to adjust. We're going to make a copy of this, set it right over here, and if you want to, you can change this. Instead of being cap height, and call this baseline or something, just so it doesn't look exactly the same on both sides, just for a little variety in your life. Send it to back. So let's start showing why we need to kern here. I'm going to take one of these rectangles that we've drawn. I'm going to alt click and drag, and I'm just going to make it a skinny rectangle, and we can just slip it right between the A and the S. And sometimes you'll get that where things select the wrong item, especially when they're arranged this way. So what we might do is just bring these to front so you can work with them a little bit better. And we'll slip this thing in here to measure how far away the S and the T are. Just so you can see that space right here. That's good. And we'll take the same rectangle and we're going to put it right here. And it's spaced well between here and here, but you still see this huge space right here. So what we'll do is I'm going to widen it at the bottom, just so you can see how wide, how far apart this is. And I'm going to use this tool right here, the direct select tool. And I'll click on the white area over here, and we'll click just on this top line of the rectangle. And I can take it and I can shift over that rectangle. You see that? So now I'm going to take this other side here. I'm going to try to give it the same little sliver of white right there. So now you can take these if you want. I'm switching back to the black arrow tool. Now you can take these and arrange them, send them to back if you want. Okay, so now this kind of shows you how much space is between those letters there. It's enormous. So what actually I'm going to do is I'm going to take this VAS away, and I'm going to copy this one, put it over here, and I meant to bring over these rectangles as well, but they're underneath. Let me try again. There we go. I'll bring over these rectangles. Now I'm going to get rid of the big rectangle here. So I'm going to take the word vast. I'll send that to back temporarily. And I'm going to take this rectangle, just move it right out of the way. And I'll take the vast, I'm going to bring it to front. There's the shortcut, see that? Apple, some people call that the Apple key, but it's the Command, Shift, and right bracket key. So now it's to front. I'm going to put the cursor right between the V and the A. This one is tracking, this one's in kerning, so I'm going to just click on it right there, and it selects this tool right here, and you can make it go up or down, but we want to make it go down because it is too far apart. So you can just arrow down till you feel satisfied that it looks like a normal amount of space, which that looks pretty good. So that is kerning. So what we did was we just kerned this a little bit better. Then we can take this rectangle and we'll thin it up a little bit. There we go. That's kerned. It'd be a good time to hit save. I probably haven't shown you hit save enough times with these projects. You want to hit save often and quickly instead of waiting every 15 minutes to hit save. A lot of times I'm not even telling you I'm hitting save, but you can just hit Command S, the Apple key, and S, and just save as often as possible. So now I want you to do everything that's on this page right here. I'm going to show you some typesetting with how you use the Tab key. So we can take our VASs that we have already set here. So this one, I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to copy this one. We'll turn this one on. Hopefully the one is organized the way we have. This one's no kerning, this one is with kerning. So I'll call this one no kerning, I'll call this one kerned. These aren't lined up, so I want to line up these words if possible. That's pretty good. If you want to, you can change these to that 50% gray. We'll do color later. So right now just working in black and white is just fine. So now we're going to talk about a little bit more typesetting over here, and we'll use the tab tool. So let's look at the way this looks here. I'll make sure to type this out and make it kind of look like this. Type these two out and make it kind of look like this. What I'll do is I'll show you. I won't show you the whole thing, but you can. Kerning is the process of and what we'll do is we'll select this. I'll open the type tool. That is Command T, opens up the type tool, and we'll change it to lowercase. And then we take this word here, and just make it a little bit bigger. After the of, you can just hit enter and keep typing these words here. I can go back over here and click all caps, or I can just take my eyedropper tool and eyedropper right on that, and it should change these to be the same font, same size, and everything. Okay, so go ahead and type that out. I'll show you another way how to work with this stuff. So let's go down here. Let's go to the font style. So I want you to type out all this stuff right here, and you can make a box over here. And what I did with that is I used the type tool, and I just click over here, and I just click and drag, and now I have a type box. And I will call this font style, and I can't see what's written here. So let me get it so I can see here. Condensed italic. And what we'll do here, go ahead and hit tab, type in regular. Semi-bold, bold, and what I forgot to do is don't put a space there, but hit a tab. So hit tab on your keyboard. Next one, we're going to go bold, italic, tab, and you're going to type in italic. Bold, condensed, italic, and condensed. Then what we need to do is make all these things that style that it says here. Let's take this one. Let's see if this font here doesn't have all these styles. So let's go ahead and try the generic Illustrator font. See if I can find it. Myriad Pro. Let's pick Myriad Pro. And all of this needs to be Myriad Pro. And then see, this font family here from Myriad Pro has all these different ones in here. And that's kind of my way that I choose fonts that I like. I like fonts that have a big family. This one is a fairly small family, but it's still all your major ones here. So let's pick Myriad Pro. This one is not changing to Myriad Pro for some reason. Oh, okay, we'll pick regular. Now it will change. So we got this first one. It's the regular type, so we're going to take condensed italic. We'll choose down here, condensed italic. Regular is regular. Semi-bold, bold, bold italic, italic, bold condensed italic, bold condensed italic, and this last one here, just condensed. So I need to make sure there's a tab right there. So now I'm going to select all these, and I'm going to hit Command, Shift, and the letter T, and that brings up my tab ruler. So what I want to do is right here I'm going to make a left justified tab. You see how those lined right up on that tab? Now I'm going to make a right justified tab right here beside it. So this one is going to be right justified. Then we need to take these and just hit tab over. You see how that works? This one's going to be a little bit trickier. We're going to have to put a tab in here, and then what we'll do is we'll take this other tab, drag that one away. We'll take this tab and we'll use the centering tab, and we'll just move that one into place like that. Then another thing you can do, select all this. If you want to make the font a little bit bigger, you can. That's too big because now my tabs aren't working. Oh, I don't think this one has a tab. Let me put a tab in there. No, it does. Oh, I see. It's got a little space in there. So we got rid of the space. Now it's lining up. And then we can take this and increase the line spacing. But Adobe calls it leading. So there we go. font styles. That's how you do that right there. I'm going to go to my source. We'll take a little break right here, and we're going to work on tracking here in a minute. So let me let you take a break on this part, and you can go to part 2 of the next section.